Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chimpkin Podcast.
What? Why are we started?
Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck you.
I really know. And back to the podcast of Chimpkins, where I'm your host Chris, and I'm here with your co-host.
I'm sorry for saying PodChamp, but you're not editing me. It's not my fault.
I'm your host
Anyways.
Chris, and I'm here with my co-host.
YouTube, the Drow Detective.
We also got
Jonathan.
Yep.
Gaycock.
Yep.
Me.
It's not my fault.
Audio sound tech dude, guys.
He's playing Among Us. Yep.
Definitely him in the
He
corner.
probably won't be saying much, and we also got fucking Hayden here.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here to talk about our guilty pleasure of playing role-playing games.
Is it really a guilty pleasure?
For a lot of people, yes.
Not for us.
We're
I don't know, I feel bad whenever I turn on like Skyrim and stuff.
We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons, you
Yeah, I know.
dumbass.
And Call of Cthulhu, if we get to that.
Yeah, if we get to that.
We had our very first session today of Call
It
of
was
Cthulhu.
fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I listened to it. It's quite
My
fun.
board did so
why don't
good.
we start with Drew, and then we'll do it in chronological order of who got into D&D and why. So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. You got the stage.
So, I got into D&D, I think it was August 2018. Yeah. And, it was pretty much just me and a couple of dude bros that I knew. They were Daniel and Zane. And also, Gavin was there. Gavin is pretty much the only holdover from that group that we ever had in our new group. And occasionally, Simon would show up.
Oh my god.
The gamer Simon.
I forgot. Yeah.
His character was just a straight rip from Destiny 2. I don't know. His character was just one of those.
How do you even do that?
I don't know how he did
How does
it.
the DM even allow that?
I don't know. I was like, literally after the session, he introduced his character. He's like, bro, isn't it cool that I'm like entwining like a Destiny lore into the game? And I'm like, fuck you, Simon. Nobody loves you. Anyway, I thought that Zane was like this shit at the time.
Was he your DM?
Yeah, he was the DM. And he was
DM,
actually...
well, okay, we gotta explain a little bit for people. DM is the dungeon master, where if you play other role-playing games, game master.
Yeah.
And, they kind of control the flow of the game and the storytelling. They put the broad of the work on their shoulders, while everybody else can just pussyfoot around.
Zane is actually a pretty good storyteller. I did like his campaign.
I could have joined that.
What I didn't really like was sort of the world itself. It felt kind of just non-existent, and it didn't feel like there was anything of substance there. So I started making my own world, and I was like, "Hey, Chris." This was before Chris. I sort of introduced Chris to D&D. I was like,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
"Yeah." You called me gay, and then you started watching Heroes.
No.
We'll get to that,
There's a
yeah.
bit more to it than that.
There's more.
Alright, anyway, it was like Chris, gay Chris, and Brian, and I made my world, and my world was also shitty and terrible.
Okay, well, I think we can stop right about there for that and go into how I started, how I got into RPG, well, role-playing games, tabletop RPGs, and all of that. It all started, right? Drew's like, bro, D&D's cool. And Drew and I feel like the only reason we're really good friends right now is because of D&D.
Probably.
At this point in time, like, I knew him as one of the dude bros from the front ensemble, and he was a
Yeah.
cool guy, but we weren't really close friends. And I'm like, bro, you're gay? You play D&D? What a nerd. And everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Everybody's like, that's gay. Bro, you're so gay, bro. Because I had a cult following. Anyways.
Dude.
But I always have this ordeal where if I'm going to make fun of something, I'm going to be well researched. I'm not going to make fun of something that I don't know a whole lot about.
Down the rabbit hole.
So I was like, all right, let me find. I started looking at some of the gameplay stuff. I'm like, this looks really cringy. And I found this group called the High Rollers. They have their little campaign. If you're into D&D at all, I would suggest watching it. Heroes. I started watching
watch
it. And I went down. Dude, you like Kim? I don't give a fuck about
Dude,
you.
she's hot.
Anyway.
Wait. Somebody's gonna listen to this one.
Huh?
Oh shit. It's whatever.
Dude, you can say someone's hot, even if you
Okay,
date.
yeah, I guess I can
It's
say
it's
that.
like if you objectively think so, then like they gotta understand you're point of view. Like that's like a girl saying, "Oh, this actor's hot." It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, what's she gonna do? Lick your toenails?
Or not.
Anyways,
What are
we
you
got
talking about?
D&D or something. No.
D&D.
Yeah, watched that. I ended up watching like 2 weeks worth in like 4 days, and I was like, "Hey, Drew, D&D sounds kind of cool. You want to play D&D?" And he's like, "Bro, but we're gonna need to get some people in on it." And we started assembling the task force. All right, we told the entire cult about it, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's cool. We could do it." Let's just cut to the chase here. Everybody bailed except for Gay Chris, and big ups Gay Chris. Brian.
Gay Chris was pretty cool.
Yeah, big ups him.
He wasn't like into it, but he was like he.
At least he tried it out.
Yeah, you know.
You know, it's not made for everybody. I feel like he'd enjoy it a lot more now that we're good at it.
Now that we're actually like proper into role playing and shit, he'd probably like it a lot more.
Yeah, so would
Hey, Gay Chris,
I feel like
if you're listening, hit us up.
Did anybody from the cult, you know?
Anybody from the cult,
Except Dan.
except Dan.
Yeah, not Dan.
Yeah, Dan's not alive.
Dan was one of the
Batman.
people that bailed.
Yeah.
What, it was Dan, Peppermint.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
But
much
I think Brian overheard somehow, and
Yeah,
I was
Brian.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't part of the cult really, but he was like.
He was just kind of a cool dude.
So we all went. The first session was I actually really enjoyed the first
good,
session.
Yeah, I don't know
Everything-
if that's how much is that as nostalgia, but like, it was really
No,
nice.
even at the time.
Yeah,
I
it was a
enjoyed
really well constructed. Like, I still am like, how the fuck was that my first session? You know, because that was just a really good session.
Yeah, we had like a cool little
Pretty
boss
much-
encounter.
Yeah, it was like a little mini adventure. Mainly, I think the best part of it was the fact that I wasn't trying to write a big story. It was just
Right.
like, you guys are going into this small mining
The only thing I
town.
remember, there's three main key points.
Right.
The mining town where we fought the Tremors thing.
Tremors, yeah, pretty much just homebrewed. Also, that was a really good homebrew monster, and that was the first time I'd ever done something like that.
All right. I remember giving the staff to someone, they bamped the fuck out of there. I remember that, some sort of staff or key or piece or
Oh,
something.
yeah, there was the thing.
No, I remember one more thing as well. Brian hit on my in-character's
That's
game
right,
sister.
I remember that.
And Drew was like, "Oh yeah, the DC for that was low because of some unknown reason to you." And I'm like, "Lick my nuts, kid." And the fourth thing is the reason why I stopped playing is because my character, in technicality, had plot armor, or at least it felt like that, to me.
That was a bad call on me.
And I was like,
That was bad on me.
Which new DMs make
Yeah.
mistakes. My entire first world, trash.
I liked it. It was better than mine. I'm gonna say it's better than mine.
Objectively, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Right.
Saltmarsh.
Greta's a fun character. Your
Yeah.
third character.
That was my third character ever.
Yeah.
Because I finally like understood. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
I feel like that's about how I got into it. Then the next person
Was
is
me?
Hayden.
Yeah.
So we also had
let's talk about-
Gavin and.
I think we need to talk about the transition from my shitty campaign
All right.
to Dragon
Yeah. So
Heist.
I said in our Discord, I was like at every. Oh wait, not here
It
yet.
wasn't a
Okay.
Discord,
No,
it
I'm
was-
fucking with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the Instagram chat, I was like, I'm not feeling it, and everybody's like, yeah,
Okay.
all right. And Drew's like, yeah, okay. And then we just stopped. Like we talked about D&D here and there, but we didn't have plans on playing again.
Yeah.
And then Drew's like, you want to try again? Except this time I'm going to do a module. And I'm like, I'm down. Want to get the
Because-
boys back together?
Yeah.
And
The boys
Gay
are
Chris
back.
was like, yeah. I was like, okay, you know what?
Yeah,
you
it's
weren't too into it. It's Gucci. Brian's like, Paladin.
Okay. Gavin comes in.
And then
He's
Gavin.
like- yeah,
Gavin's a gamer, dude.
Because
Like,
Gavin is a gamer.
I really
And he was
enjoyed
like,
him.
all right, and I think it was like literally 8 p.m. that night after we'd like gotten pretty much done making your characters. Gavin was like, "Hey, yo, dude, I've got this buddy that really just like wants to play."
He could be an entire episode on his own.
Oh my god, Kyle was the fucking man, bro.
Yeah, so I
I'm
heard-
like, first of all, I'm thinking it's one of Gavin's friends. He's just gonna
Yeah,
be,
there's like
this
jock dude who's gonna like shit on everybody.
Yeah, and then
That
he
was my
comes
thoughts.
in. He comes in with like fucking pasta, like rigoli, I think it was, dude, something like that. He comes in with like Alfredo chicken pasta, and he's eating that while making like the most fucking grog
So
character.
I'm going through all of these characters, or the character list with him.
Yeah.
I was helping him. You were, I think, loving up Brian or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this class. He's like, magic? That's gay, dude. I want someone who can beat the fuck out of people, right? I'm like, okay, barbarian. He's like, it's a little bit too. I didn't like
Too
barbarian.
cringe.
I'm like, fighter. And he's like, I like the sound of that. What can they do? I'm like, they're literally just the best hands-on character that isn't gonna just be gay like barbarian. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
So he makes the infamous
Thought him.
Thought Ham. And we could go on. Well, we'll get back to Thotham.
And we'll talk about Thotham.
Yeah.
Because that'll be like, right now we're doing intros. Thotham's going to be the first story.
Yeah, the first story.
About.
The next person to get in was, I think, like 2 or 3
It was a third session. I'm pretty. It was the third or the fourth session.
It was pretty early on, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it was third session because
you
Thotham
guys
didn't
had
join until
just-
second
you
or
guys had
third.
just
Yeah,
finished, like,
Thotham
the
joined
first-
second, so it was like the fourth session.
Yeah.
Because Thotham was only there for like 2
I
sessions.
think it was me, Drew, Ty. It was just me, Drew, and Ty, and we were playing
Ty
like,
is Drew's
Overwatch
brother.
one day. Oh yeah, right. And then like I think that Ty left to do something. And then Drew was like, fuck me, my stutter.
Bitches be like, bitch, what?
Bitch,
Dude, I hate having
spit it
that.
out.
I'm pretty sure that Drew just said that. I don't remember like what you even told me. I just know that you were like, "Do you want to join?" And I was like, "Sure." I know. I just rolled up one day.
I think I enticed you with the idea of making a goblin.
That's what it got me.
I
Dude.
think that
And I was
really
like, I can be a
what got you.
goblin.
The
That's kind of
Zors
cool.
suck. Oh my god. Anyways, he rolls. Drew's like, so we're gonna have another person joining, and let me preface this by saying, he looks like he's 4, but he's not. Like that is basically how he explains it.
Thank
And
you
I'm-
for
I also said he was kind of annoying.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
And I was like, that sounds fun. Another person in the party now that Thotham was leaving. And that was actually like you showed up.
My first session was
The
when I
first
left.
session was actually like the first session you were there was Thotham's like
Last session.
yeah okay.
Yeah, it was brain dog session.
Yeah. And then like 2 or 3 sessions after that, it's not very long after you joined.
And then Peyton joined.
Peyton joins.
Hitman joins.
And that was yeah.
Which, how did I even? I think I got Peyton in because I was like, you should not.
And I had met Peyton.
Well, Peyton told me.
I was bullying Peyton about it, right? me and Drew bullied Peyton about.
Peyton
playing
told me that
D&D.
one of his friends used to play like D&D, and he would always talk about it, and that's how Peyton got interested. And then it was us bullying him to play D&D. that got him
Yeah, so imagine getting bullied into playing D&D.
because that's what we did.
But yeah, Peyton joins. That happens. And at this point, the story is actually getting, like,
Yeah.
up there. So the way Drew has broken up this campaign, he's put in different modules and just kind of glued them together. And it works super well. I really enjoy it. We're on, sadly, probably the last
one, which is going to be
dude.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Dude.
Which is going to be Pog Champs.
Our original fucking goal.
But
We're
that
getting
would be-
close.
that would be 2 years.
It kind of slips me sometimes that our original goal was to go down there and clear shit out.
Yeah.
To get powerful enough to do that.
I was never there for that.
I forgot about that campaign.
Enter Book 2. So, we've had our D&D group for a little while. We're all getting used to it.
We were like 3
but
months in.
I feel like I was getting pretty used to it. Everybody else was getting really, really used to it.
I was
And then we introduced John Ross.
Hey.
So I didn't know John Ross for very long before he started playing D&D.
It's like, pretty much on my off days in school, I would talk to him every morning about the shit that you guys were doing in D&D.
It'd be the funniest.
And he was like,
shit.
bro, I want to go in for like a single session. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to want to be there for just one session. You're going to get fucking roped
I remember
in.
he spectated a session.
He spectated.
a
I
He
said-
sat right by me.
The
He
dragon
spectated.
session
He
because
spectated.
Gavin wasn't there, and
He
you guys were
spectated
like,
the
"You can sit in
dragon
Gavin's
session.
seat," and I just started reading Gavin's stuff. I'm like, "Oh
He
wow!"
spectated the dragon session, which
Spectated the
was cool.
session. And then you were like, yeah, I think I'm just going to join the campaign.
And we're like,
I remember it was in O'Neill's or whatever, and I was like, "All right, Drew, this is what kind of character I want." And Drew's like, "All right, lay me out. What do you want?" I'm like, "I just want a guy that's tiny that just shoots guns."
And so he made infamous deep gnome gunslinger York. No
Who-
last name
Influenced the
specified.
entire.
Who
Wait,
has
wait.
changed the course of the campaign multiple times.
he has changed the lore of Faerun as it is.
He has made monstrous fucking changes. Because I like Faerun, I fucking love Faerun, I love reading about its lore.
I've gotten really into Faerun
God.
recently, ever since
It's-
Out of the Abyss has started.
Oh, it's quality shit. It's a really good setting. And
Jordan,
I just think I work better with other settings than really trying to make my own.
Jordan, but the PH is silent, has taught me so much.
But yeah, that's how we all got into it.
Yeah, and this is over the course of many months because
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
sessions weekly.
So how do we want to do this? Like, do we want to tell
We'll start with
random
stories.
or do we just want to tell like?
We'll start with stories that the least amount of people know, going into the one where everybody has
Right.
input.
And then I sort of just want to like
Really
have
What
a
about the Rick and
breakdown.
Morty one?
That is not spoken
We're
about.
not- we're not
ever.
talking-
That's not happening?
We're not
Oh.
talking-
We're not talking about the Mick and
The
Morty.
Nick and Morty.
Nick and Morty.
So I'm not gonna lie. Right? So until I think books today, I was scared of Chris. Because I didn't because we didn't talk to each other. Right? So I was dead silent, and I just wouldn't talk to him.
I remember I talked to Peyton before I talked to you. Actually, I met
Yeah.
Peyton before. So I met Peyton on Fortnite. Yeah, and we bullied Dan for a little while.
Yeah, I remember this. I introduced you to Peyton.
Yeah, I was like, Peyton, he sounds like this cool. I thought he was like our age,
Oh, yeah.
but went to a different school. I didn't understand that he was a
Like-
couple grades below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, and then we just kind of vibed, you know. I think we got to start. There's one I want to start with that chronologically is before Thotham. I want to start with the solo session.
Oh, okay, that was also probably the best one from the or at least the second best one.
Yeah, from that little, the first group.
Yeah.
There was this time where Brian was, it started with Gris. He was like, I can't make it, guys. And we were like, okay, Brian and I will have some fun. And Brian's like, I got a date.
Yeah, Brian cancels literally I think an hour before the session.
Yep. And then Drew's like, fuck it, me and you. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's do
we're doing a
it.
solo
And that was
session.
a really big eye-opening session for me, alone, because there was no combat, and it was pure roleplay.
Mhm.
I didn't get really into roleplay until my third character. That's when roleplaying
Who was
really
your
kicked.
third character?
Salus.
Yeah.
Salus is my
That
third
makes
character.
sense.
Which, by the way, I've learned that Ash, the Australian woman,
Yes.
The informant.
has a character named Salus, who is an Aasimar paladin. And
What?
Tell me who your Salus is.
Salus is a cleric.
A
of,
tiefling
A tiefling
cleric.
cleric of Saloon.
Which, if you don't know what an Aasimar or a tiefling is, an Aasimar is an angel-touched person, whereas a tiefling is a devil-touched person.
That is
so the fact that you guys both just
Wait, is
grabbed
her
that
character
name-
female or male?
I think it's male. I
Okay.
think it's male.
Hmm.
They might be female though. I don't know. I actually.
Where did I
Really
get the
cool.
name Salus from?
I'm
I
pretty
literally
sure that
from
it was
your
just.
head.
I'm pretty
That's
sure it
what
was
you
like.
told me.
I thought it was random name generator. Really cool, funny.
I don't know if it was a random name generator.
Salus.
We also learned that Runesmith, one of his characters, was named Salus.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't remember Ash had a character. I don't know if you've ever.
I don't think I
covered
told you that.
it. Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It is. It's
Nobody
wacky.
else has Zorsak, dude. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
nobody else has ever named their character Zorzak.
Okay, Zorzaruk,
Zorzaruk.
Zorzaruk, yeah.
that we have infamously changed to
I just changed his
Zorzak.
name at this point. It's just Zorsak, man.
Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had a
It
solo
was just me
session.
and Drew, and we just vibed. We went through. I caught everybody up. I used to take notes. For Call of Cthulhu, I'm gonna have to take notes.
Oh yeah, because
And my character specifically, but we'll get into that.
Oh yeah,
Me and
that'll be
Toon.
fun. That'll be sort of end of this, I think.
Me
for
and
the night.
Toon be like,
Scribble noise here.
But
So
yeah,
do we want to because I know I sort of want to delve into the MCU that I've turned my campaigns into, but I think that'll be longer, second half of this podcast.
Yeah, we can
I
do
think we
that.
should tell
So-
smaller stories.
yeah.
I like 30 minutes.
Thotham story. We'll start with that. That's a
Thotham,
big. That's a good attention grabbing. In 18 minutes and 30 seconds in, it's a big attention grabbing story that's just hilarious.
Oh God, I love Thotham, and I remember all of his adventures.
He was the first role playing person in our group.
He was the best role player in our group. Period. We
Well,
haven't had one
he was
since.
the first person to actually role play.
And yeah, he was the first person to role play.
Which
okay.
is Kyle, by the way, he is like a jock.
A
Your
jock,
stereotypical
and
jock.
he's a Chad, bro.
He's literally what I would describe as a Chad.
Oh my God,
Kyle, if
I
you ever
love
hear this,
Kyle.
dude, I miss you.
I miss you, bro. Come
Dude,
back.
don't kiss him.
Anyway.
I don't know
It
you.
wasn't on the
We'll come
cheek. It
back.
wasn't on the lips. Jeez.
Dude, it was
Anyway,
on the cock.
he introduces his character, Thotham, the champion fighter, which
Yep.
is going to come back later with Abby's character.
Which is
Yeah.
really
Curse
just
of
barbarian.
Strahd.
It's just
No,
barbarian.
not at all.
So champion fighter, which is sort of like the gladiator subclass for fighter. And it's Gavin's character Alucul, who's a gold dragon barbarian, who gets a letter from the Zentarum saying, we want to work with you. and you can bring one person. And he's like, I'm gonna bring Thotham, because their backstories aligned. I think they traveled together. So Thotham, they go to the Zentarum person, and he's like, there is someone murdering elves in the dock ward, and people think it's us. So we gotta put a stop to that, right? They go and do that, right? They find the dude. He's a rogue member of the Bregan Diarthe, who's just been cutting off the heads of these drow. And they corner him in an alleyway. He's sort of got like a hidden blade coming out of his arm, dude. He was a badass, right? Alucard, Alucard gets like 10 feet away from him, I think. And they back him against the wall. And then Thotham turns the corner to the alleyway. This fucking 7-foot-tall fucking Goliath who just starts charging the dude.
Oh yeah, he is a Goliath, by the way.
Yeah. So the drow gunslinger just pulls out his flintlock, shoots Thotham, and he goes down in one shot. This fucking charging
because
bull.
we didn't understand that. Oh, one like what was he, first or second level character? With these 4th level characters, not that big a deal. Because he was under leveled, I do remember.
Yeah, he was
that.
under level. You guys were his second level because he actually didn't make it to the first session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he just gets knocked out in one. Alucard finishes up the dude, and Thotham almost died right then. He failed 2 death saving throws, and I was like, okay, Gavin, you can roll a medicine check to see if you can resuscitate Thotham. And he rolled a 9. And I said to myself, I might be making the same mistakes that I made in the past, but god damn it, if I let Thotham die here, his story will not be told. So I was like, Gavin, you make it. You make the medicine check and Thotham lives. Which was probably the worst and best decision I've ever made as a DM.
That changed the course. That was
so Thotham lived. And then he bought a hooker
for my character.
Your character.
Yeah.
Worth 150 gold.
Yeah.
And after that.
Which your character was just Chris, right?
Yeah, his character was just Chris at the time.
Dude, I'm so original.
Anyway, then Thotham. I can't remember if. Yeah, it was Golden Egg and then Brain Dog. Right? Yeah. Chris tells Thotham there's a golden egg in the field ward.
Right, he kept bothering me about, what do I need to do? He gave him this voice like he's actually mentally slow, which is the greatest thing ever. He's like, what do you need me to do? I'm like, here, I got an idea for you, alright? There's a golden egg in the, like, farmer's spot. Like
the field ward, I think.
Yeah, for the farms. And he's like, I'll get it. And I sit back and let Drew and Thotham do it.
This is half the session.
This is like 3/4 of the session.
Mm-hmm. Thotham goes to the field ward, which at the time I thought it was like a farmer district. It's not. It's just sort of the slums area where people just sort of camp out. But at the time I thought it was. So he goes there and he finds these chickens in a coop. And he just takes one of the chickens. And like the farmer's wife just sort of comes out and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Put that chicken back. And he's like, golden egg chicken. Because it had like yellow feathers like some chickens do.
Yeah.
And she's like, alright, hold on. If you put that chicken back, I'll give you a golden egg. And then she comes back out with this egg that is quite obviously painted yellow.
Yeah, it's nowhere close to gold.
And she's like, it's worth 50 gold, though. And Thotham gives her 50 gold.
Yep.
Which
is fucking gonna set her up for life.
Yeah, dude, she got paid infinite, dude. She's not gonna ever run out of money.
And Thotham fucking comes back and he's like, Chris, look, I got the golden egg. And Chris is like, that's a golden egg, Thotham.
Yep.
And that's how you guys named your tavern the Golden Egg, because you were renovating the tavern that Volo gave you.
Yep, and we went out and we bought a real gold.
You bought a real metal egg made out of gold.
And that's where the 0 is, right?
That's where the O is.
Jesus.
In gold. And
yeah, it's pretty
cool.
And that's how the Golden Egg was born.
Yeah.
And the next session, Hayden's character comes in. Hayden Zorzruk, who's this goblin bard, who goes up to Chris, who's a human bard, and he's like, the Harpers want you to join them. We got to go to a play, and we're going to meet my main man, Mert. Right? And they do some side quests for the Harpers, right? And then at the end of the session, Thotham, he turns to me and he's like, alright, so you know that brain dog that I keep hearing about that you guys fought in session 1? And I'm like, yeah, they did fight like a brain that had legs. And he says, I want to find one.
So, at this point, he's like, well, I think he wanted to get everybody together.
Yeah.
And then I think one person stayed behind.
I think it was Alacool.
I felt bad for him, because the entire time, the three of us were on an adventure, dude.
You guys went...
We got so much progress that session.
You guys went to the yawning portal, because this was fucking Zorzork's idea, and you were like, hey, Durnan, where can I find a brain dog? And Durnan's like, why the fuck do you... I mean, I guess in the sewers. So you guys go back to the Xanathar's hideout that you cleared out, and on a genius bit of improv, I decided that there was going to be a brain dog there, and the orc wizard's brain, who was just waiting for people to come back so we could fuck him up. And you guys captured the brain dog, you knocked it out.
I remember reducing it to 0 hit points, and then we put it in a bag.
Yes.
No, it wasn't a bag. Rope.
Oh, we dragged
No,
it with
it was in a bag.
I think it was in a bag.
I think it was just rope.
No, I think it was in a bag.
Hey, no, wait.
You tied its legs together with rope.
It was a bag because
Because of the neck.
because I had rope and nobody else did. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
we
got
tied
this.
its legs together or something. And we gave it to Thotham, because Thotham's the one that wanted the brain dog. And he just drags it. So, yeah, he ends up capturing this...
Names it Head.
By the way, this is an intellect devourer.
Yes.
Just so we're all caught up.
And he names it Head,
And he names it Head.
because he wanted Head.
And then he ties Head to his bedpost. And then in the middle of the night, everyone wakes up to the sound of screaming coming from Thotham's room. Because Kyle had to go, which meant Thotham had to go.
Oh.
And I decided that the Mind Flayer, Nihilor, from Xanathar's guild, was going to be there wanting his brain dog back.
Yeah.
And that's how Thotham died. He got
And
his
then we
brain
killed
sucked out.
Nihilor.
And then you killed Nihilor.
Oh, I love the way that happened, dude. You're like, yeah, this Mind Flayer seems badly scarred by Thotham. And I'm like, you put up a fight, man.
Yeah.
He didn't go down that easy. Even though that Mind Flayer would have destroyed him.
Yeah.
His intelligence was like 4. But yeah, that was the Tales of Thotham. Oh, jeez, I really missed those.
I miss those
Really-
days, the early days
I really
of the
miss those
campaign,
days.
before
Can you not?
shit went down. Excuse me, audio sound check
One
dude
second,
guy. We're
one
talking
second,
about
one second.
Dungeons.
Yeah, after Hayden got done getting yelled at by his mom.
Ah.
I don't even remember what we were saying. That was hilarious. That's for another day, though. I think we just ended up the
We just finished
Thotham.
Thotham.
Yeah, that
So
happened.
yeah.
And then Hayden joins.
I joined before.
Well, you join as...
I joined like that session.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Wait, so we kill the Mind Flayer. Woo.
So, I feel like we just need to keep that campaign. I feel like we just need to put that on the back burner and say we'll come back to that one later. Because there's a lot of shit that we need to cover with that one.
So we could skip forward in time and go to... Where would we go from here?
I don't know, just fucking stories that you guys...
I mean, so, okay, my transition to DMing was legitimately like the
Oh
biggest...
yeah, let's do that one.
Let's talk about your world.
World.
Yeah.
What was it
Anenuma.
called?
Anenuma.
Ananuma.
That sucks.
I know. Alright, you know what?
I'm sorry. I'm
next
sorry.
bring it
next
back.
Wednesday, alright? You're DMing.
Okay, I
And
win.
then-
You gotta
Next
say one.
Wednesday, we're canceling Out of the Abyss and we're going back to Ananuma.
Dude, I
Can
threw
I
away
DM
Fork's
right for
fucking
30
sheet.
seconds, dude? I will make the best.
If you can say 4
I
words in
love-
30 seconds, I'll let you DM.
penis, 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 penis. Stupid. I win.
I loved, our cast of characters for that campaign was so good. though.
Ananuma,
I liked our
Ananuma,
cast.
Yeah, it was really fun. And
Dog was fun.
I had an idea for a story, and then it just... I was like, yeah, I'm not good at this. So I went and bought like 5 books, read through them, and I read through one of them. I was like, this one seems cool. I made a mistake running Out of the Abyss.
I love Out of the Abyss. I love that I am the main character now, and you can't take it away from me.
No, I am.
Oh, it's me.
I was.
Erg was the fucking best character. Thotham too. That's who Erg was.
Thought 2. No! If Out of the Abyss takes place... When
He
did
was
we start
just-
Out of the Abyss?
We started-
Is that before Curse of
That would
Strahd?
be 1490 D.
No. But when did we start Out of the Abyss? Before Curse of Strahd?
After Curse of Strahd.
So no, Thotham 2 was actually Nala.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, let's talk about
I guess we can do
Curse of
that real
Strahd.
quick before we
Oh,
get into
it's
the
okay,
Out of
Yeah, so we were making our Curse of Strahd party, and everyone. That's probably the best cast of
It's because
characters
it's
we've ever
Corona
had.
time.
We decided
okay,
to do
so
a
Rona's-
digital,
yeah,
we,
Ron-
we decided to take a break from book 2 of my campaign. I was like interested in running Curse of Strahd because I like gothic horror, I like vampires, and everyone made the best characters ever for that campaign. I really need to keep. I need to write Taken by the Mists. I've just been working on so much shit right now.
I
Dude,
feel
Monkey's
that.
Guide. Monkey's Guide.
But anyway, Abby's the newest member of our group.
I forgot about her.
She's
she's
John
on-
Ross's girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend.
We
Well,
finally
yeah.
said it. So we've hinted towards.
Oh, we have
Yeah.
for the longest.
Wait, John,
time.
Ross, you have a
For the
girlfriend?
past
I have a
3
girlfriend.
episodes.
Wait.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm.
I have a
I'm-
girlfriend!
I am right here.
Yes!
I'm literally right here.
You don't
Anyway,
have bigger boobs.
She literally.
Dude, I disagree.
She literally. We're
I
talking
got you,
about
Chris.
Hi, thank you, bro.
talking about character concept, and she was like, "Okay, folk hero sounds pretty cool," and I'm like, "All right, that's a good background." She's like, "Goliath." And I'm like, "Okay, we have a history with Goliaths here," and she's like, "I kind of want to do melee because my last character was a sorcerer." And that was kind of weird, so I'm gonna go with fighter. And I'm like, oh, okay, well,
A Goliath
well,
fighter.
there's like you can do like battle master, and she's like, oh, champion looks pretty easy, and I'm like, fuck, we gender swapped thought him.
Yep.
Not again.
It's Thought-Ham's grandmother.
Yeah, out of the abyss. Curse of Strahd, like
Probably like the most consistently best campaign we've had.
Yes.
right.
I like
Every
that.
single
Every
session
campaign
in
has
that
its
was
ups and downs,
Every
but
single
Curse of
session in that
Strahd,
was so good.
Yeah,
I feel like there wasn't a single session I could look back on and be like, that was a bad session.
yeah, I don't think we had a single bad session in Curse of
Because our characters were
These
actually
work
amazing.
so well together.
They all
Uh,
hate each other with love.
Dude, I love the Nala Nyx.
I
Oh,
also,
Nala and Nyx.
that was
They
a
hated
very-
each other for the
Oh, that
longest
was
time, and
so
at the
fucking
end,
best.
they're like, "Yeah, you're cool."
Yeah, pretty cool, bro.
So I guess let's talk about our characters a little bit. Talk about
yeah,
characters.
some of like the favorite characters you guys have made throughout the years.
So I'm just gonna talk about all my characters.
Okay, yeah.
But do you want me to start or should?
How about you start?
All right.
Weren't you the first one to start with?
we'll
your
go from
character
oldest
Oldest
to
character is the
youngest.
newest.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna do my oldest character.
Oh, yeah, I'll also do that.
So
Well,
my
then that would
very
be the
first
last one.
character, right? Jinsil Eulis. Oh man.
has a history.
Yeah, this dark elf. I wanted to play a spellcaster, and Drew was like, "Spellcasters kind of complicated," and they are for your first character. I would
Yeah.
never recommend doing a full spellcaster, but he's like,
Um,
"I'll get. How about a half caster? I'll do some research into half casters." I've always been one of those like, oh, sneaky archer boys are cool, or just sneaky boys in general.
yeah.
So there's this subclass for rogue, arcane trickster. They get
Worst
some
subclass in the game. Worst
And it's
No,
re-
it's really good.
And
I love
Have
Arcane
you,
Trickster.
I liked it a lot.
critical role. Watch Sam Riegel's character. Literally like the best. Anyways, I really enjoy his character. Anyways,
Season 1.
I do that. Season 2. I do that, and it's not the worst thing ever, but it was just.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Bad things happened.
Anyways, that
That
character sucked. Now my creativity, by the way, was at an all-time low when I was trying to think of the name for my next character. So I was like a human bard. Human names. Chris. Boom. Boom.
And it just
Boom.
Fucking Chad.
Yeah, we had Chris who had a history of jumping out the second floor window.
Which got so annoying so fucking fast.
Hey,
But you did it
what time is
consistently
it?
every session.
At the end of every session, or in the middle after we took a long rest, which is like basically sleeping, I would always be like, "Yeah, I just hop out the window," and Drew'd be like, "Okay, you hop
Dude,
out
I
the window."
remember like for the first like fucking month of that game, I was always like, alright, so it's around like 8 a.m. as the guys wake up and everyone's like, I'm still sleeping. And I'm like, shut the fuck
My
up.
character's quirky.
Oh my god, I'm so quirky, I'm still
What-
sleeping.
oh, wait, what? I was just like, nah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
but-
fuck you.
That character, I eventually was like, yeah.
Don't like it. Not liking it much.
So I create this I'm really struggling to figure out what I want to do for my next character.
But you
But
had
we-
time, because
we-
there was like a month break
Yeah.
in between book 1 and 2.
So I was like, we need another healer because Bard is a healer, and I'm like, I'll do cleric. And I went through the subclasses that I had at my disposal, which is just the PHB ones, and there's like 3 or 4, and I'm like, I really like life domain. It's like big heal boys. So I make a last minute. I'm like Salus. He's this cleric, and I was texting Drew for a long time trying to figure out what god I wanted to choose. And he goes through and he tells me all these ones. I'm like, Saloon sounds cool. And I am so glad I chose Saloon.
Saloon has become such a big part of the campaign. I feel like it's natural for like the clerics or the warlocks of the group to naturally have a bigger influence due to their patrons and their deities.
Yeah.
And there's no DM out there that doesn't like role-playing, like the dream scenes where you meet with your deity and stuff like that.
I don't know, York's patron's pretty cool.
Yeah, Manchun. We'll get to York. York is like Saloon, or not Saloon. York is like Salus, just completely backwards. Like evens it out.
Dude, Salus was born with his head out, right? York came out with his feet and ass first.
York was a breech bird.
York like came out like the mouth.
Anyways, we'll get to York in just a minute. But yeah, Salus has been like my favorite character I've ever made. We ended up making, so I wanted this character to be like big brain, like he's researching a lot and he's got this thirst for knowledge. And then we ended up switching from life domain to knowledge domain, which everybody hated at first, by the way, in combat aspect.
I was the only one who liked it, because
as a player, I would just like...
I remember every single time someone got down, you'd be like, why did I not stay life domain?
The consistent heals are just not there when you don't have life domain, which sucked for combat purposes, but for role-playing purposes, it made so much more sense.
Which I'm gonna do like a grave domain cleric.
Grave domain's really good.
That's really cool.
Grave does sound pretty cool.
And then I guess we can continue forth with the story of Salus. He gets to about, I think I hit 8th level, and there's been this ongoing thing, the Stone of Galore. It's got like this.
Yes, that's a holdover from Dragon Heist.
Yeah, like. Everybody misused the stone, like it was treated like ass, and then
one of
you literally put it in a fishbowl, and it's a fucking aboleth.
And then Salus shows up, walks into the tavern, he's introduced to everybody, and he sees the stone in a fishbowl. I'm like, can I make a roll on that? He's like, okay. Boom, nat 20. He's like, yeah, you pretty sure you know what that is. I'm like, ooh. Yoink. So I take the stone, and Galore and Salus become like pretty buddy-buddy, just because Salus isn't necessarily like, how do I describe him? At this point, he wasn't neutral or like just good. Like what is it called? Fucking
neutral good.
Neutral good. At this point, he's chaotic good, which is like a bit of a dick, but also good. Which, but yeah, him and Galore get on pretty well. Eventually, he releases Galore.
Which is very scary.
And originally, I wanted to do Sorcerer. I wanted to put more like DPS into. Salus, and I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I decided not to go with Sorcerer. And we did Warlock, so now Salus is a
half Warlock for Galore, half Cleric for Saloon.
Which Drew has told me that there's going to be some very heavy role-playing.
That's gonna pay off a lot in this next book. You're gonna be having some choices.
Yeah, I mean, I already know where my mind's thinking, which everybody can just put 2 and 2 together, dude. Saloon, yes. But who knows? Galore could I don't know, offer me something.
Alright, yo, I get you a sweet buttery deal of this ass if you take my side.
Oh, dude, Galore's got cake. Anyways, my next character after that.
Aboleths are a big thing in our group. I'm just realizing you guys have fought a lot of aboleths.
Yeah, I'm so sad that there's no aboleths in Out of the Abyss.
That's a big F.
There's no
mind, there's barely any mind flayers in Out of the Abyss as well.
There's one random encounter a little while ago where you run into an illithid. It was about one random encounter.
Anyway.
And then there's one that's part of the group.
Would you like to talk to the aboleths
Anyways,
with
for
your mind, or
Curse of Strahd, coming up with the name for Amir was the funniest thing ever. I've been notoriously bad about names.
Naming is my thing, I'm telling you, dude.
So I was going through and I was like, names. And I think subconsciously, I chose this name for a reason. But I was like, Amir seems pretty cool. This is my first opposite gender character. I made a female. I was about to say wood elf. She's not a wood elf.
She's not a wood. She used wood elf stats, but she was a dusk elf,
which is
who was like she didn't know what she was. But dusk elves are a big part of Ravenloft. They are essentially this tribe of elves that Strahd invited in. He was like, "You guys are pretty much dying, but come here." And then like the sister of the chief of the dusk elves started like fucking Strahd on the low key, right? And they were all like, that's not cool, so they killed her. And then as retribution, Strahd sends in his right-hand man, Rahadin, who is a dusk elf that sort of defected from them to serve the Von Zarovich bloodline. And Raw Hidden just goes in and kills literally all of the women, so they can't reproduce anymore, and they're just all dying slowly. And that's the story of the Dusk Elves. We decided that before the Dusk Elves came into Barovia, Strahd had a bargain to make it with Castamir, and he was like, "Alright, Castamir, you can come in here, but since I like to fuck with people, you're leaving your daughter outside, alright? She's gotta fucking fend for herself in the wilderness, bitch." And he was like, "Well, this kind of sucks. I do like my daughter, but also my people. That's a lot more people to save there, and we're all sort of like
The
low in
trolley
numbers."
problem.
So yeah, it's the trolley problem, and he's like, "I hate to do this, but there you go."
Sayonara. You know.
Yep. So my
Awesome.
ranger Dusk Elf was born. Amir. Subconsciously, the name came from my TV. It's called Emerson or Amir. I don't know how you can name it. Emerson.
I like the idea
Is
that
it-
you were just
What's happening?
someone's sister, I'm guessing.
I don't know. We're not messing. We're not.
I like
messing
the
with it.
idea, right? That you're in your room and you're like making your character and you're just like, just like, fan.
I don't remember specifically like looking at it and be like, I just know that like 2 months later,
That like subconsciously.
I looked at it and I was like, hey.
Didn't you like come up with that name? Like
Because
was
it meant
Celtic.
it meant
something in Celtic.
it meant
remember? It meant
swift.
Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you came up.
And that
with
must
the name.
be a huge coincidence then.
Yeah.
I remember Chris being like, I bet you guys can't understand what this means. And then me and Hayden was just like,
Yeah, you have to search it on the internet.
Everyone
It
was
means
instantly
Swift.
like, it's got to be in Celtic.
I was like, no.
It's Wood
No,
Elf.
it's not.
It's got to
Me-
be in Celtic.
Me and John was figuring
I
it out
told them
within
it wasn't-
about 30 seconds. We figured
No,
it out.
no, you didn't. Because I told you guys it wasn't in Celtic, so you guys didn't look there.
no, I remember looking at Celtic, right? And I was like scrolling through the alphabet and you're like, it's not Celtic. I'm like, it's weird, but alright. Probably in like Germanic.
So you guys, I sat
The
there and
next
have them
best
search
thing.
for it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, it's in Celtic.
You ass.
Anyway, that's Amir. She's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Cool character.
You guys get to read more about her if I ever pick my ass up and start writing more Taken by the
You're gonna
Mist.
have to pick up a lot
On
of
Amino, the Drow Detective, on the main D&D.
I
Amino.
It's
know.
it's actually a really good story. For the first chapter that's released,
Yeah, the first chapters matters a
The
lot.
first two.
No,
No? You haven't really. Oh.
I haven't released the second.
Yep,
one.
I
Oh,
didn't-
you
It's
gave a
like-
teaser.
It's literally like 2 pages away from being done. I just haven't worked on it in months.
That's right. You gave a teaser, and then I was like, dude.
Yeah, he
hell
sent a
yeah.
teaser to the Discord. And I was like, oh, it's so cool.
That's so Nala.
So null a
That's
moment.
so
It really
null.
do.
Anyways, that's my characters. I think there's some like one-shot characters, but you know, one-shots aren't too big of a deal. We'll just go around. Yeah.
What we're
Yeah.
gonna do for Pateman's character? Who's gonna say that?
I mean,
Alright. I'll start with my name list. Alright, so my first character.
can we just throw it out here that originally John Ross had a theme for his characters' names, and I'm so glad we gave up on that.
I kind of got sad that we gave up on that because that was hilarious.
Nork
It turned-
was gonna be the best goddamn character.
My brain thought that was so
So,
fun.
Sean Ross, describe your characters to us.
Alright, so starting with my first one for book 2, York.
He comes in at the Hidden Shrine of Tomoe-chan, which, by the way, I'm just gonna say, I probably should have just skipped that one for our group, because that was not a good dungeon for our group.
Oh, you're
I
talking
know
about
if
bad
they're-
dungeons.
Yeah.
There's one that's in everybody's mind right
Nobody
now.
that is,
I know
that is
you're
uns-
talking
The Doom Vault was done
We'll get there.
dirty.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
The Doom Vault was done dirty by the fact that Salas died literally 2 steps into it, okay?
That
Okay, we'll get
ruined
into
it
it. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll get
For
into it.
everybody that ruined it.
We'll get into it. By the way, I tend to make characters that everybody enjoys, and then they're gone, and everybody's like, "What do I do now?"
Whoa, sounds like
Oh,
a weird.
I forgot about my. Oh wait, guys, I forgot about my character. Lucky Lucy.
Fuck Lucky Lucy.
She isn't a character, don't count her.
Dude.
Okay, you also forgot Padam. Let's
Yeah, you
fuck
forgot
Padam.
Padam,
Yeah,
man.
but Padam's my one-shot character.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about those characters.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
a spin-off character.
there was York, who came in short, like, when was it? It was like right
Hayden
at-
Shun and Timon.
near the beginning of book 2.
Near the beginning of book 2. It was like chapter 3 of book 2.
It was right after Salas was introduced, I remember. Or like whenever
Oh,
they got
yeah.
back
No,
to the session. Or tavern.
Salas was chapter 1, you were chapter 3.
Ah, okay. So I remember. Alright, to describe York, he is a little gnome man. He has a bushy white beard that is longer than his whole fucking like body height, right? And he has a hat that's a red gnome hat. That's stereotypical hat.
I always
red.
forget he has a hat.
Wait, he has a hat?
Yes!
I
I
always
said
forget
it in the
this.
first session.
you never
He
spoke
has a
about
red
anything.
hat that's 1 foot tall.
Yep.
And so
His forehead is just like really big. He has a really big forehead.
he has no hair and stuff, and he has 2 big irons on his hip. And I remember being like, "Damn, bro, I just wanna chuck dynamite and spit fire." And Drew was like, "I got you. There's a subclass for that." And then York was born. Pure chaos.
Yeah. So, I don't feel like you're doing York justice. So, Salus, Tiefling, really good guy. York, evil.
Chaotic evil.
So, it's not like we didn't even clash really until you started getting into role playing, and that's when we didn't.
I remember I threw a bone for him because like
Yeah, because there was nothing really to do with York until Drew was like, "Hey, yo, here." I was like,
The,
"Oh."
the last stand, York's last stand, and we'll get to that as a story.
we'll get to that as we talk about the camp. York is so entwined to my campaign that you can't talk about one without including the other. It's like, how the fuck did you manage to do that?
York is entwined in the like.
This little fucking gnome gunslinger, by the way, introduced the Industrial Revolution to Waterdeep of the Forgotten
You know
Realms.
how,
That
like,
is how
You
fucking...
know how Eli Whitney was like, "Hey, yo, cotton gin."
It's
Yeah.
literally the impact York has had on my campaign and my version of the Forgotten Realms moving forward.
No, but
Holy shit.
Structural integrity? Nah. Gives the gold to a poor homeless kid? Yeah. Ruins the economy?
Yeah.
And we'll get to that when we get to fucking his character.
That isn't a character. He doesn't exist.
No,
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
We gotta talk about
I'm
Theo.
not talking about him.
I'll talk
Alright,
about him
anyway,
then.
keep
Alright.
talking.
He sucks, right?
So
Second character.
York,
Worst character.
he is a gunslinger fighter, which has they are proficient with Tinker's tools, and their whole shtick is being able to make guns. And
Well, they don't have to make guns.
they don't have to.
Weapon, like advanced weaponry that hasn't been seen to our.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And like they're just able to make guns if they wanted to. And I remember cuz like, okay, I'm going to be honest, York with dual wielding pistols doesn't do a lot of damage. I remember especially whenever at the, like, what was it, level 5, level 6 or whatever, with like 1 extra attack. That's just 2 shots of 2d10 per round. I'm like, Celsus is over there doing like 7d10 on like spells and stuff.
No. Dude, the only reason Salus did damage is because Guiding Bolt is my favorite thing in the world.
yeah, it's a really cool spell.
But
But,
no-
I mean, 2d10 at 5th level is exactly what cantrips do.
Yeah.
Firebolt does 2d10. Eldritch Blast does 2d10. Plus Charisma mod, which is plus Wisdom mod, so.
It was
What
I
are you
think
doing?
York got good whenever we were trying
Trying to figure out how dual wielding works. That's when it got good.
That's
whenever
when we fucked up the dual wielding rules for
No.
about half a year.
Mechanically, that's whenever it got good.
That's when he got broken.
That's whenever he got broken. Yeah, I'm saying he got fun role playing and stuff. Whenever we were trying to get the mace that like used to kill gods.
It was White Plume Mountain, which to this day is probably my favorite chapter in book 2. I
That
love
was
it.
my least favorite chapter because I would
Dude,
have
so much character development happened after that spot.
There was a lot of character.
White Plume Mountain was a bit of a turning point, and in general, that's a really good module.
But
Anyway,
York tried committing suicide multiple times before that.
Well, like,
Russian
the way I
roulette.
had it set up was, Caraptos, which is the sort of wizard behind White Plume Mountain. I was like, he's gonna be working with the Zentarum, because the Zentarum were sort of becoming the main baddies. So I decided to replace a bunch of monsters in that, White Plume Mountain with Zentarum members. I didn't really change stats or anything, I was just like, they're Zentarum people. And York was captured and nearly killed by 2 Zentarum.
Okay, before you go here, we spent an entire session fighting giant crabs and...
You guys spent an entire-
I was completely out of resources, by the way.
Yep.
You guys spent an entire
And
session.
Gavin was basically out of resources.
Well, I feel like we need to talk about this like properly later. All you need to know is that York got a deal was that if he joined the Zentarum,
The
he
big
would be
bads.
allowed to live. The Zentarum, which currently, Manchun's Zentarum is the big bad of the campaign right now. And he says yes. And that's all you need to know about York for right now.
I didn't even have to accept the deal. We killed our people that it was like, hey, yo, I give you a job. And then we killed him. I was like, hey, that was a job offer, though.
So,
But yeah,
next one. Are we going to talk about Bork?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so much like York, there was little to any preparation for...
You literally got there, said, I want to make a character named Bork. Let's go. That's what happened.
Yes. And you know what? He did have some good stuff going for him after we had him made. Bork was a conquest paladin dwarf. What was it? Rock dwarf? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
And
I think he was a Duergar.
I don't think it was.
Hill dwarf or rock dwarf, one of the two.
So I remember having to make his brother,
Yeah.
and he was not a Duergar.
What was...
Or a cousin or something.
Yeah, it was his cousin. I can't remember his name.
Neither can I.
It wasn't meant to be, and then I was
like
just
a
like, hey, Chris.
I think it was like a
cousin.
mountain dwarf.
But he was a noble. He's born from a noble family, and during like this time, there's two factions. One of like magic, and one of like
the world was split between people who wanted to advance the world through magical means, and then people who were like, yeah, last time we tried something like that, things went really bad. Which, I guess I'll describe a little bit of lore here. So basically, the world's kind of split in half. Half the people wanted to be like, ooh, technology, and the other half's like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
Back in my day, we
because
had technology.
last time they tried to do something like that, they created what did I call it? I don't know.
It was
basically
The Darkening, right?
The Darkening, right?
Yeah.
At night, creatures of pure elemental whatever would come out and like, mess up people up. They were really powerful. And if you use too much magic, it would also create one because, bullshittery. I don't know. I have my notes for that somewhere. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, back to you.
But no, so York's family is like super rich from being like mercenaries.
Right.
And basically what was happening was York was a bastard. And since that, he was always considered, like, lesser to everyone else in his family. He's like, all right, I'm going to hit the road with my cousin.
Yeah, they gave him 1,000 gold. Get out of here.
I'm going to hit the road with my cousin, and we're going to go try to gain a name for myself. Because, fuck yeah. And basically what happened was cousin died, and Bork laughed. It was like, more gold for me.
Oh, I tried so hard to get him killed so many times, and you guys wouldn't let him die.
I'm surprised
and then eventually,
he lived
eventually I put him in a room with Hayden's character, and I was like, there's no way Hayden's character has a high enough perception to hear it happening. So I let him make a perception check, he killed it, and I'm like, yes!
Dark tried so hard to keep Darvin alive.
Darvin,
dude, I'm surprised you remembered that.
I remember Darvin, dude. Because he'd say his name like Darvin.
But no,
I hated him.
Oh my god, I loved him.
Yeah, I didn't like how you guys said it.
He was just a big bitch.
He was just a bitch too, like everybody. And I was like, man.
He was super in debt too.
This was around the first curly fry. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Bork's character, his whole premise was just be a big motherfucker that liked to fuck bitches and kick ass.
And he was. Like,
and I'm all that ass.
So was that.
Yeah, and he was also chill with Ares.
Right.
Yeah, by the way, my campaign was also set in like Greek mythos.
Yeah.
Sonia, Curse of Strahd character. Okay, so this is like the most thought I've ever put into a character, as you can tell, because it has no
doesn't
orc.
End with orc.
It doesn't end with orc.
Dude, I'm gonna make a character just named Orc. Orc.
The beginning.
O-R-K. Well, anyways, she was basically this orphaned character with her brother Richard
Chad. AKA Dick Chad.
I came up with the Richard part too, dude, because I was like, Ninja's middle name was Richard. Richard means Dick, so his name was Ninja Dick Blevins. So I thought it was hilarious.
I remember just being like, Chad. Because Drew was like, what's your brother's name? I'm like, I don't know, Chad. And then Hayden was like, Richard Chad. I'm like, Dick Chad? Yeah, okay.
Chad. I thought it was funny.
No, and they were both orphaned. Their family was killed by a werewolf raid right in front of them. The whole fucking town or something like that. And basically what happened was she was just like, all right, well, since I am traumatized with dreams and stuff, I'm going to try to learn from this monk monastery in the Raven Queen or whatever. And she's tried meditating and get rid of all that.
Yeah,
She didn't get rid of it.
that's
She didn't. She didn't get rid of it.
And then he lost. Oh, come on. Philrina.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Philrina. She had a lot more preparation than everyone else, and then she died. Question mark.
And then you're like,
She died because that was a bad session.
Yeah, but she could have lived if I was playing correctly.
That is true. She could have looked generously.
But yeah.
Talk about Philrina.
Yeah, talk about
Alright,
Philrina
so for Out of the Abyss, I remember Chris said specifically, alright, so
there's only
one rule.
One rule in making characters here, because Out of the Abyss is set in the Underdark, and I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with the Drow and the Underdark as PCs, because I just don't want to have to deal with it. And then John Ross like, aw, I wanted to play a Drow. And after like 10 minutes of convincing, I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
He had a good concept, though.
It was just like, listen, dude. Alright, so I've looked into it. Female Drow. There's 2 goddesses, basically, that's like warring for Drow's control. There's Illustrati, who is Loth's... Well, I should start with Loth. There's Loth, a fucking hell-bent spider god, like, completely wrapped around controlling the Drow people, right? And there's her daughter, named Illustrati, who is just all about setting the Drow free, trying to get them come from the Underdark onto the to the surface, and it's like, you are no longer enslaved by my mother. And I was sitting there, I was like, Ayo, Chris, what if, right? I know that you said I can't play a Drow female, Drow female, but Illustrati.
I said specifically Drow female too. Said specifically female Drow.
You could have male Drow.
If you would have done male Drow, I could have spun it. But you wanted the female Drow so bad.
It made
and then you
sense.
gave me a good concept, and I was like, I can take that. I can work with it.
I have been doing that since the entire time. Every single time I fight a Drow, I do not do lethal damage. It's just they kill them.
Yeah, everybody else kills them. Because
Or they commit suicide.
We're working with.
Suppose that,
Well, before we get into your character, we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
So we'll be right back with Drew's
We're
character.
back right after this ad break.
Yeah,
Haha.
ad
We're
break.
not-
Alright, Shadow Legends.
We're never getting sponsored.
Okay, so I've got...
I don't know.
There's one
Yeah, I
character-
think you started that mid sentence.
It's okay.
Okay, so there's one character. I'm pretty much only mentioning her for the Australian people.
Okay, continue. Dude, leave it in. It's just the book.
I'm pretty much...
Stop.
I'm pretty much only mentioning... Because you guys aren't going to care about this character at all. So I'm pretty much only mentioning her for the Australian people. It was my first character, Thromus, who was a Dark Elf sorcerer. She's pretty based. Anyway, the 2 characters you guys are going to give a shit about. Doc, my Warforged Artificer, Alchemist. Who
2877.
was 2877, dude. Still don't know
You
what
still
that
know?
meant.
Yes, I love
I'm
it.
never gonna
What
get
did it
know.
mean?
No, I'm not saying.
This is fucking manufactured.
Did it mean
number.
boobies?
Nope.
Anyway, Doc was a pretty based gamer. I still like him a lot. He was a war. He was created for the war in your world by the non-magic side.
Yes.
And he was like, I really dislike helping people, so I'm gonna be honorably discharged from service. Because he lost his entire fucking platoon.
In an ambush.
In an ambush. And he was just like this just chill dude. And he never did anything wrong.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say, at one point in time, Doc got the entire town, to, you know...
Let's just say that one time he let his fake emotions get the better of him, and he may or may not have went Jim Hopper mode on the mayor of a town, who was corrupt.
He was a corrupt mayor.
He
Yes.
was a corrupt mayer.
But you didn't get
And
the
he
Jim
got-
Hopper success.
I didn't get the success that Jim Hopper did, because York nearly died, Doc nearly died, Abby
only
and
one
Ryan, everyone almost died.
Except
because of
Abby.
me.
Abby was the only one who was like, I'm okay.
She just stayed in the back and, like...
No.
Because she sucked someone's dick.
Well, she said that she would suck the mayor's dick.
Yeah,
I
he's
could
like,
suck your
nah.
And he said no.
Kind of whack.
He already had a secretary.
I love the secretary.
The secretary was a good
Favorite
one.
character.
Recurring character.
Anyway, that's Doc. He was really cool. I liked playing him. His quarterstaff was a shovel because Battlefield 1.
Yep.
Now the character that really matters.
You bring up that one character in that random one shot.
The boy, E-Roll the Hobgoblin.
Oh, dude, okay,
I forgot about him.
Oh my god. Okay,
I think we
anyway.
should talk about the Hobgoblin.
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that later. So, Magnus Cerebri, my Mind Flayer wizard. Mind Flayer Time Wizard.
Wait. He has a last name?
Yeah, his last name's Cerebri.
What's that mean?
It means big brain. His entire name means big brain.
That was the initial starting point that Drew. He was like, "Hey Chris, so I know you can't play Illithids because there's no things anywhere for them, but can I play an Illithid?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it was like this big secret for the longest time.
Yeah,
that everybody kind of figured out eventually.
DM's Guild. Session 1, I rolled up with a fucking Illithid, and I was like, I'm just gonna play a Mind Flayer for this one, boys.
Yep.
And he has quickly become...
And he's quickly become my least favorite character because... you go ahead and explain what he can do.
Okay. So, basically, he's Monkey.
Monkey Guide coming out next year.
Shut up.
He's just like a pretty base dude. He's a complete nihilist, and he cares about nothing and no one.
I care about
Except
Well,
until
Lenny.
recently, he has recently developed a consciousness.
Lenny.
But that's gonna be short-lived, probably.
He cared about
It's a
Urg.
part of what it is.
He cared about Urg, then Urg fucking died. He's sort of just a game. He knows a bunch of psychic spells. He's got a bunch of fucking really cool abilities that I always forget to use because I'm not good at keeping track of that sort of shit. He's got 22 intelligence.
Yep.
He is plus 11 to most of his intelligence skills.
Yep.
What are you wanting me to mention?
The fact that he can eat brains and gain information that they need.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he can eat brains of recently deceased creatures.
Yep.
And gain information from them.
Yep.
Which we thought was not going to be a big deal until it was.
Until he's like, yeah, I just eat this kid's brain. I'm like, what the hell did he know? Oh.
Because now the thing is, he's got to dig through this shitty module that has no fucking.
We can get into that.
It's not even a module. Don't even tell me it is.
It would have been a better source book than a module. Or a setting guide. I don't know, dude. Then your characters, I think.
All right. So my first character was
And don't skip out on one.
was a Zorzaruk.
Yep.
And I mean, okay, I think my personal concept for him, right, was so Peyton called me he called me like a goblin, and I thought it was hilarious. So I was like, I want to make a goblin character, Drew, and it's like, yeah, and then I'm like, and then like you told me about like vicious mockery, and I was like, that's so cool. I can just talk shit to somebody, and it just no.
I thought you were about to tell the vicious mockery story.
No, that cannot be
we can't.
Yeah.
We'll get demonetized.
But
More than that.
What do you say for vicious mockery?
But it was just like an insult, and it's just like funny to
right.
me. But it's just like funny to me, and so I started playing a bard my entire idea, and then I've kind of built his backstory over like the entire time because I've been like, I don't really know what I want to do with him.
I feel like that's about how Salus has been. Like originally,
I
there
just
was no
like the
backstory.
Mert thing, and I was like, I like that a lot. So yeah, he's like a member of the Harpers. He doesn't really have anything cool. And then
I guess I didn't give too much information about my characters in there.
No.
You guys are like going like kind of in depth.
yeah. I don't really know. Then I had Greta, and Greta was pretty.
No.
I feel like you're
Okay,
missing
back it
somebody.
up.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God.
skipped one person.
I don't want to. Oh yeah, Pickle Rick. I forgot about that.
Not your Rick and Morty one-shot character, Pickle Rick.
I had Theo. He sucked. Theo sucked. He was such a bad. Basically,
It was a
put
good concept.
good concept, right? But
Just bad
I
execution.
didn't understand role playing until I got to Nyx, right? That's when I was like, I know how to role play
That was pretty fun.
because Nyx, I was like, that's a lot of fun, right? And I would just like, haha, funny, right?
I feel like you were
I just thought it would be, oh, haha, funny.
I feel like you were into
quirky.
roleplay a lot more with Greta than you did Nick.
Greta, I love role play.
Greta into Nyx.
But Greta into Nyx was like, it was like, I kind of like figured out like my like role playing style because like there's different styles of it in my opinion. And yeah, he just sucked as a character. And then Greta came along, right? And Greta, so I got her concept right. It's from not another D&D podcast, which is a really good podcast. All right, I listen to it a lot, right? And one of the characters' name is it's a Moonshine, right? And I was like, that's a cool character, but I want to flavor that differently, and I want to play that differently, right? So I have like the pet, right? And I was like, I like the possum, right? But I don't want to do like the exact same thing, right? So I made her into a gunslinger, right? Because I wanted to play a gunslinger, and yeah, pretty much.
Oh
Greta
my god!
I loved Greta.
Before you get in the Knicks, we're gonna talk about the lactating story.
All right, hold on, right? Hold on, right?
Hang on, no. If
Right,
we're
to
gonna talk
preface
about Greta's
this,
story,
right?
we also gotta talk about Theo's story.
No, we're not talking about him.
Change eye color.
He's just a bad.
Change eye
Yeah,
color.
he was just a bad character.
Yeah.
So to preface like the lactating story, right? What? This is like a year ago, right? And a year ago, Hayden, right? I'm fucking stupid, right? Because
Not much has changed.
this was like during what? This was during the summer before freshman year, wasn't it?
No, this
No.
was later. This would be around like December, January.
Yeah.
This
So
year.
I was really distracted because like, I'm stupid. Yeah. And
Anyways,
I was like, haha, funny booby. Because I made a joke, right? And then you guys were like, what? And I was like, I made a joke. And then you guys were like, Hayden, do you think that's how it works? And I'm like, okay.
no.
And that's
Like,
pretty much, I made a joke, and then you guys like took it seriously, and I was like,
whoa.
shit.
No.
I 100% made a joke. I know for a fact.
You may have made a joke.
I made a joke, and then you guys were like, milk.
And then I asked you to explain to me what lactating is,
And I was like, milk booby.
question mark. You blanked, and I was.
Yeah, I did. Dude, right. So
didn't know
halfway
what
through the
lactating
session, right, dude, my brain just goes, and it shuts down.
You just didn't know what lactating
I
was.
checked out, like John Ross last session. I checked out, and I did not check back in.
I checked out because I was like, whenever Drew was like, yeah, no, you stick your finger in the hole. Nothing,
checked out
you don't
because,
really see any change.
Ooh, the out of context moments. Come on, man. You can't just say I checked out
No,
because
someone
I
can
stuck
clip
my
that,
finger
and I
in
don't
a
care.
hole.
They could clip that and use it against me, and I'll be like, haha.
But
no,
dude,
see, I just checked out because I could not literally think of anything
dude,
else
me
after
neither.
that.
Dude, me and
I was
Chris,
like, this is all I could think of about the riddle.
and
It's
it was-
just
yeah.
hole.
So for Christmas Fraud, so I made Nyx, and Nyx was my favorite character I've ever made because I actually no, he's my second favorite character because Erg always beats him. But Nyx, I put a lot of thought into like everything about him, and like I talked to Drew about him, and I was like, this is a cool character idea, right? And I got this character idea right from a fucking meme that I saw, right? It was like
I fucking hate this meme.
right, the Salamancer, right? And I was like, that is gold, that is hilarious. So I just made him, right? And it just worked. And Nyx is like my Necromancer Dragonborn, haha, funny, gay.
Silver
Funny gay Dragonborn.
Silver color.
Yeah, silver color, John Ross. You are right. You fucking
special.
finally learned colors, bitch. I'm sorry.
You still haven't learned yours. It's
No.
okay.
I haven't. Anyways, and then I made Erg, which I think everybody's favorite of my characters has been Erg.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Erg was just thought him dumbed down by like 2%.
he was like the thing that like we needed in that party.
Yeah. We had some very
Very
Big brain.
the
people.
wacky. It was a very wacky cast of people in
Yeah.
Curse of Strahd and Out of the Abyss.
the
And
voice.
It still
for,
is.
The voice for Erg, dude. My brain was like yes. And Erg was just a stupid orc who requires Chris like it was sorry. So orcs can typically be like 6.5 foot, right? I made him into 7 foot because I was like, Chris, can I do this? And you said yeah. And he was just really funny to me. I really enjoyed him. And then
Yeah.
he died.
He spoke in the third person.
He did not know how to speak. He learned how to read.
Yeah, there was so. I guess this is a good transition into me talking about Out of the Abyss for a minute. So, do I think Out of the Abyss is a bad module? Yes. Do I think that anybody should never run it? Yes. Because you can't run that as it is. You just can't. Unfortunately, it based itself way too much off of random encounters, which for some parties is okay, but we're a very roleplay heavy party. Random encounters, slogging through
Not fun.
things. You guys would just get bored super quick. So I had to adapt a lot of it, and honestly, I feel like it's made me grow a lot as a DM quickly. It's like, hey, you gotta be on top of stuff. Like, you can't let that stuff go. It's a bad module. It works really good for a source book, which is basically what I've made it. I've made it my Underdark version of Out of the Abyss, which is it's really cool. I've really enjoyed it. I will say that the later chapters in it, anything from 10 above, well written. I haven't had to change a whole lot, but everything below that, it's just not good.
AIDS.
It's slogging through months of walking. The Underdark is huge.
Cool.
For the purpose of the story, I've made it smaller, but it is extremely big.
Walking simulator.
It is walking simulator.
20.
And then survival sim. But, okay, I love survival. I really want to do a hardcore survival, campaign.
Survival mode type mode.
But in the back of the book, as one of the additional feats or whatever it is, backgrounds, you can just take a background that allows you to never have to look for food or water because you're adept at surviving in the Underdark.
Which, two of us took that.
You
Yeah.
could just do what Phil Green did, just create and destroy water.
Right, but at lower levels you couldn't do that. Anyways.
It's a first level spell.
But you were also using, which spell slots were you using for that?
One spell slot.
And was it, Warlock or Cleric type beat?
He's a bard.
Wait, he's a bard?
Bard
Yeah,
cleric.
I'm also a bard. I'm a bard cleric.
I thought you were a fucking Warlock.
No.
What?
Or
I
maybe
should have
that's-
done Warlock. It
Or
would've
maybe
also
that's
helped a
Snake
lot.
Woman.
That is Snake Woman.
Yeah, I was
Snake
getting
Woman
YouTube
Warlock.
videos.
I've gotten definitely better at making characters.
She's always was kind of good at it.
I still don't forgive her for killing. I still don't forgive her for killing Shushar.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool NPCs that the book starts off with in Out of the Abyss. They don't have much story,
I want
which in some terms is bad, but it left it very open-ended, and I could work with a few of them. I did end up killing half of them off at the very beginning, just because 10
I
NPCs
miss
to
Jim
roleplay, and all the other NPCs that are around.
Which will have to roleplay with
okay.
each other.
Preface for Out of the Abyss: if you're really wanting to run it,
Don't kill Jim Jar.
so this
Kill
there's-
Jim Jar.
Yeah,
Every single
so
time.
I was scrolling through the book. I was flipping through the book, and one of the last pages said the most ridiculous thing ever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I guess. No DM in the right mind will ever put this in there. But Jim Jar, one of the NPCs since the very beginning, is secretly a god.
Just casually.
Who we killed, by the way.
Yeah, they killed immediately.
Magnus ate his brain.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, we bet him 5 gold.
Yep. He's got a gambling addiction and won't turn. Anyways, Out of the Abyss, fun, but I'm so glad that Theros is up next.
Theros is gonna be fun. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play my Centaur
wait.
Druid.
Yeah, it's got some
Saying
very.
goodbye to Magnus is gonna be a memento de bro, if you will.
Momento de bro.
That should be the title of this fucking video.
Momento de bro.
Momento de bro podcast.
Alright, so here's the thing. Do you want to break down my entire campaign to say
What about
everything that's fucking happened so
Hitman's
far?
characters?
If he was here, you could tell him.
Yeah,
but-
he was.
Yeah,
you
he's
could
not
tell
good.
him.
We just got the one day that audio sound tech dude guy can make it is the day that he's fucking useless little bitch.
I hate you.
Still playing Among Us.
Yeah, same.
Hey, he gets audio.
I feel like breaking it down will take quite a bit. We can go through some high points.
Yeah,
Plus, a lot of people don't give a fuck.
yeah, probably not. So,
Or just the general story. Oh, can we start off by saying I'm a dumbass when it
Yeah,
comes to the
sure.
story?
Can we start off by
So-
saying
Drew asked me, because I watched Aroas's, they played through, Aroas, High Rollers played through,
oh my god.
what is
yeah.
our book 1. And
Dragon Heist.
there's four big bad guys that could be it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm new to D&D, and I still feel like I didn't say.
You said Xan. Okay, here's the thing.
I wanted to be
I said,
Xanathar.
alright, so who was it in the High Rollers?
And I just, for
And
the
you were
life
like,
of me.
I don't remember what their name was. And I was like, was it Xanathar? And you
I was like,
said
that sounds
yes.
familiar, yeah.
And you said yes.
So he picks the boy Jarlaxle.
Jarlaxle, which was still a good decision. I think in hindsight, even if you said... I'm glad that you said yes to that. Because if I chose
I'm not.
Xanathar, Dragon Heist, and our campaigns to come would have been
Different.
different.
Yeah, I
in
feel
a
like
bad
York
way.
would have never.
I think Jarlaxle is overall the best thing to happen to that
And
campaign.
it's like, that also was really eye-opening when you were running it and I knew it was going to happen. It helped me to not metagame.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what we're
I was
giving
like, wait, I know what's coming.
hmm
I gotta play it as if I don't, though.
And that last session of Dragon Heist was still probably one of the best ones.
It was quite a bit different from. You still haven't watched High Rollers play.
And
through
it was, yeah, I didn't watch Rogue's Gambit, but it was also as you've told me, pretty different.
A
from
part of me
yours.
wants to watch that one,
It's so good.
but I have not seen anything about book 1, so I feel like if we ever like were to
Oh, there is a chance that I might, but I'll be using a different.
I want to play, dude. Xanathar is so cool to me, right? I've had playing
Yeah,
to
I'll be-
steal his goldfish since the very beginning.
I'll use a
Seriously,
different
love it.
NPC
I'd probably
enemy
watch
if I
it
ever
then.
do
Is it a big series?
It's 12 parts,
I can watch it then.
so like 24 hours in total.
Yeah.
Actually, no, these are shorter episodes because
Yeah, so 24 hours. Because they're only 2 hours each.
I think they're about like an hour 30.
Yo, I could actually watch that.
Because this was a Thursday session back when there wasn't Corona, so I didn't have as much downtime. But yeah, it's quite fun. Okay, anyways,
I
continue.
still want to watch it.
Now you can go forth. I'm basically a dumbass.
But yeah, Dragon Heist was really fun. That was sort of like, oh my god, I don't know. I kind of want to. Part of me wants to go back to those days and fix all the mistakes that we made. And
I'm so glad we made those mistakes though.
But yeah, I am, and I think in general, Dragon Heist is probably the best module for 5e, hands down.
I think it and Curse of Strahd can go.
S2.
I feel
I
like
really think Out of the Abyss is S tier.
so Out of the Abyss, I'd have to say is above S tier.
Here's how I would rate the
I
modules
think
we've
your
played
one
so far.
campaign was S tier.
I'd rate Out of the Abyss, Little Dick's smallest campaign we've done. In
Dude,
terms
what
of
about
modules.
the Rick and Morty one?
Dragon Heist was the best
No.
module, followed by Tomb of Annihilation, followed by Curse of Strahd. Then followed
What about
by
Saltmarsh?
Tales of the Yawning
Shut
Portal.
up.
Module alone, Saltmarsh is really good. But
Yeah.
then Tales of the Yawning Portal, then Out of the Abyss.
Doomvault, very bottom. It is worse than Out of the
That was
Abyss.
part of Tales of the
Okay,
Yawning
Yeah,
Portal.
we'll
yeah.
get to that in a minute.
And I love the Doom Vault, it's just... we fucked up.
I fucked up.
Sal
One
is
of us-
fucked up.
One of us dying and that kind of like ruined it for me. I was like,
Sal is basically...
Nah.
Okay.
If anybody's gonna tell a story, it's
I think
me.
it should be me to tell it. No, I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so we're secret agent force, like these 5
You guys are going...
badasses.
Here's the backdrop. There's a group called Thayan Resurrection that are like, we don't like Zestam. We want to fuck up his military base, the Doom Vault. And Lord of the Alliance was like, that's pretty cool. We got people that can do that. We've got these very powerful people who helped us with the Dragon Heist. They can help you guys do that. And they sent you guys in. Room number 1, go.
Okay, first 6 seconds, by the way. This vampire-esque dude. He's
It's
He's the
underling
coolest
first.
motherfucker. I like
This is
him the
little-
most.
anyways, he's like, so I can get you through this shit. And I'm like, I don't trust this motherfucker. And then I ask, through telepathy, like, do we think we can take him? Raise your hand if you think we can take him and if we should fight. Everybody except for Peyton raises their hand before you all go pointing fingers at me.
Peyton
Okay?
halfway raised us. He halfway because
No,
was,
he didn't.
He was completely down.
he was neutral.
He was down.
Even if he was neutral, that's way better than everybody else. All right, he's the only one that you cannot blame. Don't act like you didn't. I know you always go back to saying you didn't.
No.
you
This is
didn't.
what happened, right? I was expecting to go now, like, you were gonna go, now raise your hand if you want to, like, kill them. And I raised my hand, and then I was expecting to go, now raise your hand if you don't. And I was gonna raise my left hand. No, I was.
Nope.
Alright.
I'm not even gonna lie, right? I would just like if I don't agree, Chris is gonna yell at
No,
me.
it was literally a vote.
No, and you can't even say that you wouldn't because at that point, right, you know that
He
Sal.
wouldn't. I don't think he would have.
I think that he would, no doubt in my mind.
Wait, for what?
vampire.
For not wanting to fight.
Exactly, Jonas. Jonas literally just said it. He's like, but these are vampires, stupid goblin. What a bad idea, right? No,
Salus was the only one that didn't yell at you.
We're not gonna polymorph
Salus
the
was
Oni. We're
literally-
not gonna polymorph the Oni. You guys should polymorph the Oni. Okay. And I'm just like,
Maybe you shouldn't babble in the corner about bullshit
I was.
when we're trying to play.
Dude,
I mean, if you
the
want to be
corner
heard,
was the safest place.
if you want to be heard,
you guys heard me.
no, I seriously did.
You guys heard me, right?
He's mad because
Well,
he sits in the corner. And
You
fucks around
just
the
say,
entire
shut
time.
up,
That's
stupid
it.
goblin. You can, John Ross can even vouch for that one.
Yes, everyone did say, shut up, stupid goblin. I do remember
No,
him saying...
we said shut up, Zorsad. Get
No,
your
it was
facts
stupid
right.
goblin.
Get your facts
Yeah,
right.
stupid goblin was also said many times.
Yeah,
It's hard.
probably.
Mainly
I would say
by
that
Gavin.
that's partly. I would say that's partly Gavin's fault.
I do remember him saying, I think we should polymorph the Oni.
I didn't hear it, and I mean, Gavin and I were talking, and then unless you guys may have been in the corner saying something, I don't know.
No, he said at this volume, I think we should polymorph the Oni. No one said a word.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna polymorph.
Yeah, and then you went, wait a minute.
What if I
I'm
play more?
fucking big brain.
He didn't say that right. Like it was like the thing is like in the
We're already
middle.
way off track.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, we're so stupid. It was like
Yeah, we
vampire-
take a vote, and we're like, oh yeah, let's fight them. All right. So Salus, the cleric, right, starts off by casting big spell that
He looks like a wizard.
that vampires don't like, and they're all like, oh, kill Salus, and Salus like running around frantically,
Dawn.
teleporting left and right, like trying to get away. At one point, I teleport back to the corner because I'm like, they can't catch me over here. They all teleport on top of me. Well, damn. What am I gonna do now? Get
It was-
raped. Like,
You
like
know,
my 70 hit points are gone in 4 seconds.
Like
love
the
how
5
Brian
black
tries
guys,
so
you know,
hard
right?
to
And
keep
then
them
like the
on
one
him.
like white chick in the middle.
And Brian
That really sad.
Brian's playing the paladin with like 20 AC, and they're all like, nah.
They couldn't fucking hit him. So
Yeah,
they
so
were
They
they're all
thought
like,
that he was a wizard. You said that. You said
No.
that. You said that he looked like a wizard.
No,
never mind.
I said
He looked like a
at
cleric.
an earlier point. I said Salus probably looks more like a wizard than a cleric. I did not say that during the session or any time near this session. I just said it offhandedly one fucking day in chapter 3.
And it was
All
really
right.
funny.
Then I'm like, Salus just cast Dawn and he's fucking over these vampires. They're gonna want to
It
kill him.
was so funny because Chris was like,
And
"But
then
I
you
look
were
like
like,
a
"But I
wizard."
look like a wizard.
And
I do, like, he's
I
dressed as a
was
wizard.
crying. I was.
His holy symbol was tucked under his robes.
But you still cast Dawn.
I was.
And you were fucking up the vampires.
I was
Oh, well.
crying so hard because it was so funny, and then he died, and I'm like, wait,
I died in one turn.
dude, I know.
Within 6 seconds of the doom vault. It was over.
I like
Salus
picked you up,
literally
and then you
died.
got knocked back down, and I was like, I can't do anything.
I got knocked down, and then they did a hit on me, which is 2 failed death saves, and like,
And then I guess
it was a critical.
like it was a healing word, and
And-
then
and
you stood
nobody-
back up, and then it went.
Nobody had the components for Revivify, so
It's just
it happened. Salus died,
crumbles.
and then downhill
That's
because
how it
everybody
should
was like, I don't want to play my character anymore, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
So
I was
we
like,
had-
why?
we had-
No, okay.
We had no. We had
It-
Zorsuk leave.
It didn't feel the
We
same.
had York
Everyone
left.
was like, "Oh, Salus is dead." So I
Zavorn
can't
left
marry."
beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was before everything.
Shut up, sounds like audio dude guy.
Yeah, Zavorn left beforehand, which is Peyton's character. So literally, the only reoccurring character was Gavin.
Who stopped coming.
He
He
around
wasn't
this
even
time.
there. He was not even there. Shut up.
Yeah, and he stopped coming right around this time. So it was just a cast of new people.
And nobody was fucking attached because these motherfuckers threw out their characters.
Alright,
It just didn't feel the same.
Oh,
when I
it
was
didn't feel the
just
same!
No. Here's the thing, right?
Shut the fuck up.
No.
No, you don't
No.
have an excuse.
Here's the thing, right? I see his character get fucking raped, right? And I'm like, man, York isn't really doing that much damage, and we're getting raped. I'm gonna make a character specifically made to fight undead, because you were like the main villain of this whole vault. It's gonna be a lich. Which,
And then the Aspros were born.
yeah!
The Aspro, I love the Aspros.
Aspros are awesome.
Aspros. We were just two ASMR called the brothers.
Chimpkin.
Yeah. And
I don't
then
know, I enjoyed it.
we had
What
Smeek
about
over
the
here.
Chimpkin one shot?
And even if
Okay.
I kept York, he would have been useless.
I don't.
Chimpkin one shot.
No.
That character was fucking terrible.
What, Chimpkin?
No, Smeek.
Oh yeah, no, he sucks. I would
He
just like.
really didn't feel the same.
I thought, alright. Right, he had one purpose, right? Just buffing. Like, it was like John Ross, right? Like,
But I think that's why we didn't
all I
like
would
the
do.
Doom Vault characters, because they were all built
Yeah.
for combat with no story. I tried to put a little bit of heart into like, Lucy was ass. I put a little bit of heart into Badam, and I actually kind of enjoyed that character.
I put a little bit of like story in it.
No.
No, you didn't. You,
I
really
had-
had nothing to
I
work
had,
with.
I put a
one
lot
bit of
more
story,
story
one
into
bit of
Grandma.
Dom.
No, Harper's. He was not a grandma, right?
You
Because
originally.
Drew said you can't be grandma, and I was like, this sucks. I don't even want to play.
I said you could be grandma, but you have to come up with a reason
There's
to
no
be...
way to rope grandma in.
Exactly!
That's the issue.
It's a
dude.
military operation!
Grandma
Grandma's
wants
not
to
getting
check
it.
on her grandkids. Her grandkids are stuck in the doom box. You gotta go check on them.
We also
And then
let
Joe
off-
was just like,
We
nah.
also found a Manchun there, but you know.
No, yeah, there was
A
a
Manchun.
Manchun clan.
There was a main tune. I wanted York to be there, but
Yeah, you know how cool it would be if York was there?
he would have died in the Doom Vault.
No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, I
He
think
wouldn't have.
I.
No, he's a fighter. Literally, it's impossible for them to die.
No, he had lower HP.
He's a fighter. It's impossible for them to
Yep.
die.
Unless you're stupid.
I didn't have Indomitable by then.
Didn't Nala die? That's my fault. That is my fault. Hey, you want to see funny rope trick?
Dude, I was trying so hard to
And
have...
spoilers for Taken by the Mist.
Oh please, dude, that's gonna be
Dude, that
so
was the
great. That'll be
funniest
such
shit.
a great scene.
Sonya
Oh my
wanted
God.
to help so bad, but she couldn't.
Literally, I was
Meanwhile,
gonna
Amir
I was gonna
and
get you.
Sonya-
I was gonna get you safe, like up in the rope trick. You know, you can be cool, and then I go up there with you, like as I'm climbing up.
No,
Abby,
nice.
hey, so I think I'm gonna.
Nala just gets fucking torn apart by these vampires. Spawn.
And
then
I
I'm-
was like,
And then you're like,
I gotta go, guys.
He books it out of there.
I was gone.
so it's Amir and Sonya versus the
I
world.
had
You
good
can say what you want about
intentions, but it
Sonya.
did
She
not
never
end
left
well.
anyone.
I had good intentions, but
Oh,
it just
Barry
didn't
was
end
there.
well. And it was like,
Oh,
Yeah, Perry was there.
I forgot about dude. So
I had good intentions.
I remember
right, but it
because
did
Sonya
not.
came out and then she failed another save. And
Dude,
then
I love
you can have
how-
advantage because Nala died.
I love
And then
how
and then he
Drew was
succeeded.
like, okay, so basically what the DC is, it's gonna be 19, or was it 18?
It was 20.
Oh, 20.
Yep.
And I kept rolling like 19 and 18s, and I was like, I just want proficiency
To
with
clarify,
wisdom.
Sonya had been charmed by Strahd the day prior, and that charm lasts 24 hours, and it had not yet been 24 hours.
Yeah, so Nala dies. Amir finally gets to, dude, there's an ongoing thing about Amir. So she's Gloomstalker, funny, haha, works well at night. No one ever wanted to do anything when it was dark out, so none of my abilities really worked. But then in that room it was pretty dark, and I was like, yes, hide in corner where it's dark. Ooh, shoot arrow, go pew pew.
And it
go.
worked.
And it did work, because that's when the abilities and stuff kicks in. Amir also dies at one point. So there's a tome.
Oh.
And
Almost
the entire
dry.
time we were in the tome, because you got sucked into it and stuff's going
It was
on.
like Operation Anchorage
Cool.
in Fallout 3.
Anyways, yeah, you sucked in. It's real
It's the
cool.
best DLC ever.
And then 3 or 4 times before the actual event happens, everybody's like, I wonder what happens if you die in the tome. If you die in the tome, do you die in real life? Blah blah blah.
We all wanted to
I
know.
thought it was fun.
Everybody wanted to know. All right. The scene comes in where one of the big bad guy's right hand man
Right.
versus I was just gonna
You.
versus me and Casimir.
Yep.
And so many rolls went wrong and right, and
You guys had him down to 12 HP, and then he just dunked on Amir.
yep. So
It was like-
by the way, everybody could watch it, but nobody could interfere.
I tried everything, and I was like,
Oh, it was so close.
I had no spell slots after. I tried every single one of my spells. I was like, funny.
Yeah, so she died. That was cool. And then she was like, cool things happened with funny haha Raven Queen, and yeah,
Yeah.
Shade
That was very clutched.
yeah,
And
that
I'm
was.
pretty sure Drew was like, alright, listen.
Amir, like, pretty much, that was literally, she failed her first resurrection check, so they had to spend the gold to do Revivify again. And she just barely scraped by, and I was like, alright, the Raven Queen's gonna let you come back, but you gotta be a Shadar guy.
You gotta
Dude.
consequence.
Amir gave shit to everybody. I loved it.
Amir doesn't trust anyone. Tabaxi. Ran into Tabaxi. She met in like 10 minutes, right? Hey, you want to go like to my place?
Don't point your finger at me. You're the ones who wanted to stay.
I didn't say a shit.
I think it was you.
It
I
was-
did not. I,
I
don't
think
think
I
it
remember
definitely
he
was not me.
said, let's go have
I said,
soup
we need
at
to
my
rest.
place. And he was like,
I said we need to rest, and then someone suggested staying here, and he's like, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure he suggested
Nah.
it.
I'm pretty sure he was like, you guys should stay here, and then
No.
I was
Yeah,
like,
no.
what's your guys' opinions
Nope.
on that? And then
Nope.
and then
Wrong.
one he was like,
Wrong.
Pretty
sure.
sure that's how
Wrong.
it happened.
No, no.
You're wrong. You're all
Bag of
wrong.
Nails said, hey,
Wrong.
yo,
You're
come on
worse
to my
than
place.
Drew
And
and
you're
not
like,
admitting
Wrong.
when you're wrong.
Wrong. Okay, Theo, whatever the fuck your name is, shut the hell up. All right,
I've gone
Sonia.
through many
Okay.
names.
And on that note, thank you guys for.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Let's quickly, you guys want to talk about Call of Cthulhu?
No,
Okay.
I do.
imagine.
No, goodbye.
So we recently started playing
Recently?
Call of Cthulhu.
I mean,
literally
literally like
Hours
what,
ago.
8 hours ago, we started playing Call of
It's
Cthulhu.
8 hours. Dang.
Yeah. So we
And
started.
it was fun.
The first session was cool.
It was just John Ross and Hayden. So we started out small, but
Gumshoe and whore.
Peyton and Chris spectated. They had a little spectator event.
I mean, neither one of us were paying too much attention. We were just kind of
you guys were sort of making your characters as it was going on in the
Dude,
background.
oh, my characters can be so cool. Yet, as soon as they die, I'm never gonna learn to make a character like this ever again.
My character's pretty cool. I'm really excited.
I'm gonna try to learn one spell off him.
You
Just
won't.
one.
You
You'll
won't be
probably, if you can convince him to, he can probably teach you a lot. Because learning a spell from someone takes 1 to 8 days.
Yep, I'm not teaching.
Whereas learning from one,
I just
want
to learn one spell.
I'm gonna teach you how to call Cthulhu.
And that's it, right? You have to
Requires-
use
Call Girl of Cthulhu. We need to watch that movie together one of these days.
Call Girl of Cthulhu. Yo, actually, I could just literally just one day. Hey, yo, Deep One. I would like to make a deal for magic powers. I know that's an option, but I don't know if my character would figure that out.
My thing is, right, if you get Call Cthulhu, your dumbass is gonna be like, let's go to the middle of the city and use it. And they're just gonna kill millions of people.
Dude, no, she's gonna preserve it,
You
right?
saying that, it makes me so excited for how Out of the Abyss is gonna end.
What?
There's a magic item in Icewind Dale that lets you into the world.
What?
2 of them, actually.
Wait, what is it called really quick?
A scroll of summoned... And I'm stopping right there. A scroll of summoned... And I'm stopping... That's the end of that sentence.
Yeah, that bitch ain't gonna do nothing.
Imagine running Rise of Tiamat. It couldn't be me.
I'm gonna look at every single
dude.
like D&D Beyond, right?
If you go to D&D Beyond, you'll see it, and you'll be
Yeah,
like...
you will.
Do you
There's
know
only
what it
3.
is?
There's only 3 magic. Yes, there are only 3 scrolls on D&D Beyond. Yeah, go ahead. Open up Google.
You're aware of what it is?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to see what this is.
Alright, we're going to Google.
Can you? Is it like summoning the Ice Queen? Is that what she's called? What is she called?
Titania.
No,
That's not right at all.
She's a goddess. She's all
I don't know
evil.
who that
She's like,
is.
ooh.
Yeah, magic items, and then just click scrolls. And there's only like 3. I know because I was looking for Salus magic items.
You click scroll.
Yep. Scroll. That is the only CR 30 creature.
Yep, the only CR30 creature in the game.
How much do legendary magic items cost?
100,000.
Yeah, it's
It's 500,000 minimum.
What would you do, right, if York got that?
Control delete him. Like,
I got the whole world in my hand.
you know what that enemy is, right?
Tarskew? I have heard.
Did you just say Taruscu?
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
It's Taras.
Scroll.
No one's gonna know what we're fucking laughing about.
Oh my fucking god.
Scroll comment. That's awesome.
30 d10 force damage. Yeah, casually.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's a
that's
lot of
about
cool
as big
shit.
as the dinosaur meteor.
Your mom meteor.
No, you meteor.
Damn, he called you fat.
Yeah, I did.
Who is meteor?
All right. Anyways, we're getting really off topic here. I think that's about it for this.
All right.
Itself.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
I like how he's just casually see the creature's entry in the monster manual. Just
All right, let's end this shit.
All right, yeah.
All right.
This has been pretty scuffed. I enjoyed it. We talked a little bit about our
D&D shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, bitches.
we're big nerds. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to Ali. I released a new video recently. Go check it out.
Watched it. It's Ray.
Dude,
Ray
Roberto.
Dude,
Roberto,
Raid
yeah.
Shadow
Momento
Legends.
de Bra.
Dude,
Dude,
one day.
Momento de Bro.